should have to live like this.
6 people are upset and frustrated over neglected properties in Waterbury, but they aren't the only ones. We'll share what another city is doing to clean up properties as well. But first, let's start with the forecast, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us at Fox 61. I'm Bridget Burlow alongside Rachel Piscatelli. We have a lot to celebrate because it's the weekend, and how beautiful of a day it is.
It is a beautiful start to our weekend, or at least our Friday anyways. If anyone is off today, they picked a really good day to be off.
That's awesome. And it's our weekend, a couple hours from now.
Yeah,
So
couple hours counting down,
celebrating.
and the weekend forecast also looking pretty good this morning too. It's a beautiful Friday on tap. We have temperatures that are going to be warm, but the humidity has dropped off, so thankfully we don't have that real humid stuff out there now. It's 69 right now in Hartford. Winds are out of the north to northeast around 5 miles per hour. Elsewhere across the state, we're sitting in the 60s, in the mid 60s. A little bit cooler than this time yesterday. We have the drop in the humidity to thank for that. Looking at our dew points, they are in the low 60s across parts of the state, a little bit higher along the immediate shoreline, but there's that tropical like stuff over towards Philadelphia and DC. More comfortable stuff in Burlington right now with dew points in the mid to upper 50s. That's quite nice. Portland up in Maine, that's really nice stuff. If you're golfing today, early tee times, temperatures will be around 71 degrees. Into the afternoon, will warm to the low 80s by noontime, the mid to upper 80s by 2-3 o'clock. So town by town today, lots of sunshine expected. Plan for that accordingly. Grab those sunglasses, use that sunscreen. 88 degrees in Wallingford later on, 87 in Hartford. We'll be up around 88 degrees in Middletown, southeastern Connecticut, in the lower to middle 80s. So we are warm and less humid for today. For tomorrow, it's still going to be nice with temperatures starting off in the 60s. Well, there is an opportunity for maybe 1 or 2 locations over the weekend to see a shower or two. We'll have more details on that. Plus, walk you through the 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit. Checking in with the roads now at 6:02. Well, things are mostly quiet across the state this morning. We did have an earlier closure in Barkhamsted that is reopened for the morning commute. So we have lots of green on our map this morning with a couple of construction cones still out there. East Hartford now just over the Bulkley Bridge, traveling smoothly with our drive times from Windsor to the 84 interchange, just around 3 minutes. We are smooth, Bridget, from New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel.
Love to see that. Thanks, Rachel. 6:02 now, and there's a new push to clean up blighted properties in some Connecticut cities. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza shares what some leaders are doing to tackle the problem. Priscilla.
Later this morning, New Haven Mayor Ebike will sign a law that raises fines for blighted properties to as much as $1,000 a day. Now, city leaders say the goal is to get landlords to act quickly before neglected homes bring down an entire neighborhood. Now, we've seen this approach in Waterbury, where similar legislation just passed, and the mayor there says it's already making a difference.
Already seen an uptick in cooperation from people going along with it. So I really think it's going to work to help get things cleaned up. All it takes is one house on a street to cause a problem and make people feel like it's an issue. That we believe that when people start seeing real money add up, because it's, you know, you're at $600, $700, $1,000 pretty quickly, that they will start cooperating. And
Mayor Ebike's bill signing is set for 9:15 at City Hall this morning, and I'll be there to bring you all of the latest updates throughout the day. Live in Hartford, Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
All right, Priscilla, appreciate that. Thank you. 6:03 now. A teen boy is in the hospital this morning after he was pulled from a pool in Wallingford. Police say it happened just before 7 last night at the Silver Tree Apartments on North Turnpike Road. They say people in the pool area pulled the teen from the water before first responders got there. The incident is now being investigated as a near drowning. The teen was taken to Mid-State Hospital in Meriden, where he remains this morning. We're still waiting to learn his condition. And while we don't know the circumstances into what caused that incident, this story is a reminder to never swim alone, know your physical limits, and if you have kids in the water, keep an eye on them, even if there's a lifeguard on duty. You should also be within arm's length from a child near the water, and parents should not drink alcohol or do drugs when around pools, especially with their kids present. And we've learned the name of the man who died after he fell off his e-bike in East Haven. Police say 65-year-old Frederick Sternberg Jr. died in the middle of the road Wednesday night. This adds to what state leaders say is a troubling trend. Cyclist injuries and deaths are up this year, and leaders say too many riders are skipping basic safety rules. Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz says the latest numbers are a reason to be concerned.
As of August 12th of this year, Connecticut has had 6 cyclist fatalities, and that is more than triple the 5-year average of having just under 2 fatalities by this time of the year.
A new law takes effect October 1st. It requires helmets for anyone under 17 and adds registration and insurance rules for some e-bikes. Heartbreak for Connecticut's Department of Developmental Services this morning. We've learned a worker at Southbury Training School has died days after an on-the-job accident. Officials say 56-year-old Steve Kuczynski was cutting grass at the facility earlier this week when he was critically hurt. He was rushed to the hospital and later died from his injuries. Governor Ned Lamont and Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz called Kuczynski a dedicated public servant and said they're praying for his family, his friends, and his co-workers. The governor says flags will be lowered statewide to half staff of the day of Kuczynski's funeral. We're told that's still being organized, but we'll let you know once we learn a date. And DDS Commissioner Jordan Sheff says the entire department is in mourning. He says, quote, "I want to express our deep sadness at the passing of a valued member of the Southbury Training School community. Our agency is built on compassion and service, and the loss of one of our own is felt throughout the DDs. Although Steve was only with us for a short time, he worked hard and was respected by his teammates on campus." And as we learn more about this deadly incident and the plans to lay Kuczynski to rest, we'll share them with you on air, online, and on our free Fox 61 News app. The volunteer fire captain in Suffield has been arrested. Police charge 54-year-old John Guzzi with conspiracy to commit assault and disorderly conduct. We're told he was involved in an incident in Suffield Friday. That's all police will confirm with us at this point. We're also not sure if Guzzi is in custody. He was given a $50,000 bond and already appeared in court Tuesday. We have calls to learn more. As students are heading back to school, some school districts and police departments are preparing for swatting calls. These calls usually are made to police departments reporting shootings or bomb threats that turn out to be hoaxes. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules spoke with a local police chief about how they handle these types of calls.
The first few weeks of school should be a time for students and staff to get settled in and adjusted to the new school year. But over the past few years, schools across the state have been getting swatting calls, prompting large police responses and disrupting the school day.
They're very problematic for us, and they're not only disrupting the school day by causing lockdowns, but they're causing a lot of fear and anxiety amongst the students and staff. They're putting a strain on the resources of the law enforcement.
Chief Joshua Berniger with the Watertown Police Department says the town and many other schools across the state see an increase in these swatting calls at the beginning of the school year. A swatting call is when a fake report of criminal activity is called in and reported to police. The caller usually gives police the address of a school and reports fake claims like a gunman or a bomb in the school.
Some of these have been robocalls. In fact, most of them have been robocalls that have been determined to either be from out of state or even out of country.
Usually when law enforcement tries to call the number back, it's a dead phone line. When the call is made, law enforcement immediately contacts the school resource officer to notify them about the report.
The school resource officer or our dispatch center at that time will notify the school administration of the nature of the call and recommend that the school go into a lockdown until we can verify that this is a hoax call.
Responding officers do a sweep of the inside and outside of the school before eventually lifting the lockdown.
We will always operate under the assumption that it's a real call.
Chelsea Eaton has a 2-year-old daughter who isn't in school just yet. She says it's comforting to know that police still treat these calls as real until proven otherwise.
If my daughter was in school and someone called in a threat, I would want them to take that seriously. So I can still appreciate that.
While many swatting calls are robocalls, Chief Berniger says on occasion it is an actual person or sometimes even a student making these calls.
Making a joke about a bomb in the school or about that Johnny has a gun in his backpack and what may seem like a funny joke at the time generates a very real response.
He says these prank calls or even making jokes about weapons in school are taken very seriously by law enforcement.
Because of what has occurred in this country over the last 2 decades, it's not funny, and to make a joke about it is going to be taken very seriously. And whether or not charges come from the police, you can be certain that discipline will be coming from the school.
Chief Berniger says it's important for parents to speak with their children about the serious consequences of these kinds of jokes or pranks and how it can negatively affect their future. In Watertown, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Happening today, a high-stakes meeting is set between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The face-to-face meeting is happening at a military base just outside of Anchorage, Alaska. Trump has said he wants to see if there is a chance for a peace deal to be reached between Russia and Ukraine. President Trump believes there's a 75% chance the summit will be successful. If it is, he could bring in Zelensky to Alaska for a potential three-way meeting. And to be clear, Russia has not agreed to the possibility of any of this happening. Both Russia and Ukraine have remained far apart in their demands for peace.